So I've been inspired to do a little thinking and reflecting around the idea of technology and digital media and literacy because I was watching a video reflection by my friend Janelle over at the National Writing Project Digital Insight, and thought that her take on thinking through technology as it comes to student learning was really important. So I'm going to take a couple minutes just to kind of think about it too for Digital Learning Day, which is on February 1st, 2012. So I've been thinking a lot around technology and digital media related to my students' learning because I've noticed how much of their interaction with technology goes on outside of school. And I've been curious about ways of integrating that idea of here's what I do outside of school into our school atmosphere. This is one of the reasons why early in the year I dove into video game design and watched as the students were really engaged in what they were doing, really making interesting games, and the process itself was such a learning environment that I couldn't help but think that I wish we were doing more of this kind of thing. And I think, if we separate the tool from the learning, which is a really important part of thinking around digital media, I think it's important to think about, like, what is the planning that goes into a project around a piece of student work? What's the writing framework that underpins everything? It's important to note, too, that I think that writing in particular is more important than ever when it comes to technology. Because the composing with digital media incorporates so much the thinking that we do around writing to learn that we have to kind of keep that in the centerpiece of our teaching practice. The idea that writing still has great importance in the classroom, whatever the technology might be. So thinking of technology as a tool that we want to make sure we don't get too caught up in this really cool thing that we can do. Instead, be thinking in terms of what do I want my students to be learning by the end of the project, and how can we get there? One of the things I try to do through the course of the year is work through a bunch of different styles of digital media learning around webcomics and video and digital stories and wikis and blogs and all those kind of things, with the hope of that when we get to the end of the year, we can do some projects in which they have choice. They have the ability to say, this is the kind of project I need to do that will inform my piece of writing or my piece of composition, or whatever it is, so that they can work to their strengths around technology. The last piece I want to say is that certainly technology and online technology in particular has opened up the door to publishing in a way that just transforms, I think, the way that students see themselves as writers and composers. This idea of a very authentic audience that can react to your piece of writing, that gives you feedback. They see it perhaps as clicks or hits, but also the idea of who are they writing for. It's not just me anymore. It's not just the teacher with my red pen saying this is wrong, this is wrong, this is right, this is wrong. Instead, they are composing and publishing to the world, and that sense of who they are as writers is really what can transform learning in this digital age.